Hello, welcome to my presentation for the IFIA competition. My name is Katayon Kheirabadi. I am 25 years old and I have been working as a web developer in Iran for 5 years. I'm sure just like me, you also have people around you who are professional athletes, follow specific diets, or take medication due to certain illnesses. Because of this, I conducted a survey based on brainstorming technology and asked a specific group of people a series of questions about the foods they consume and the problems they face. These people believe that the amount of nutrients like protein, fat, carbohydrates, sugar, and other substances is very important to them. But this information is only clear on packaged foods. However, for the foods they eat or the ingredients that are combined, the exact amounts are unclear, and it's important to them to know what they're actually consuming. On the other hand, especially for diseases like diabetes, fatty liver, or high blood sugar, it's very important for them to know whether the foods they eat are really suitable for them. Is it actually okay for their health or not? It might just taste good, but it's not worth it. That's why I thought that maybe there should be a tool to solve these problems. If we want to list the problems briefly, they include determining the amount of nutrients like protein, fat, sugar, carbohydrates, and everything else that can be considered, and on the other hand, how beneficial it is for each person individually. The name of my idea is Smart Bite. What does Smart Bite mean? You've probably seen programs and apps where you enter your height, weight, and your characteristics, and based on that, they give you a diet plan. But Smart Bite is not just that. Smart Bite effectively connects a smart container directly to its dedicated application, and based on the comprehensive information you thoughtfully provide, it meticulously analyzes individual food items, carefully assesses your personal data, and then precisely suggests whether a particular food item or specific ingredient is genuinely good for your overall health or not. And it can also, based on the food item inside and even the test results you've entered into the app, tell you which alternative option would be better for you to use instead of the current one. Now we can talk about it in more detail. Based on the research I've done, such a container has not been invented yet. Up until now, the way it's worked is that a hologram or a barcode is placed on the packaging, and by scanning it, you can determine the nutritional content. But one of the main features of this smart container is that it instantly measures and provides you with the nutritional values I mentioned, like protein, sugar, and fat. Another feature is the interaction between the hardware and software, allowing the hardware to analyze based on the information entered into the software, compare it with your data, and then offer you suggestions. Or it can accurately tell you how truly beneficial or potentially harmful this particular food item is for your overall well-being. One of the significant strengths of this container's application is that you can repeatedly and conveniently enter your test results into it, and these comprehensive results can subsequently help to significantly improve the container's performance and efficiency. In addition to all this, the container is also capable of suggesting an alternative to you after providing detailed information about the food items. For example, the food currently in the container may not be suitable for you based on your sugar and fat levels. It's better to use another food item, and after you place the substitute food in the container and inform it that this is the replacement, the container will analyze the food and tell you how closely it matches its own suggestions, so you'll know whether you've chosen the right substitute or not. Now let's see which segment of society this smart container or Smart Bite covers and whose problems it solves. The main target of this smart container is people who are on a diet. Now these people can be professional athletes, or they might be following a diet for their health, whether to gain weight or to lose weight. For these individuals, it's important to know exactly how much food they are consuming. Do they need to have less sugar, more carbohydrates, or more protein, less fat? Well, this container can fully provide them with the ability to have precise information. The next group targeted by this container are people with specific illnesses. For example, those who have diabetes, fatty liver, or similar conditions. For these individuals, the amount of ingredients and how important those ingredients are for their health is very significant. That's why this container can really help them achieve better health. On the other hand, there's another group that greatly benefits from using this container. They are hospital patients. We all know that in hospitals, meals are served to patients and how much food is given to them is very important. Another group for whom using this container is very practical. They are hospital patients. We all know that in hospitals, food is served to both patients and their companions. But it would be even better if this food could reach its maximum level of healthiness. And what could guarantee that better than SmartBite, which allows us to precisely record even in the patient's files, so that throughout the day we know exactly how much fat or sugar the patient has consumed. And this improves the hospital's performance. Now it's better to see how much of an impact it has on society. The first effect it has on society is that each individual becomes more aware of their own physical health and can observe their own improvement. On the other hand, another problem that gets solved in society is the prevention of certain chronic diseases like diabetes and high cholesterol. The less aware you truly are of your own personal health and well-being, and the more unhealthy processed foods like fast food and sugary snacks you consistently eat, the more you will inevitably end up paying significantly later on for extensive medical care, various treatments, and doctor's expenses. However, what could possibly help you more effectively and comprehensively than SmartBite to truly take charge of your own health and proactively minimize your financial expenses in the long run? On the other hand, your sense of responsibility towards your own health increases. In the end, I did my best to come up with an idea that would help improve the health of society and the world so that people's expenses are minimized while their level of health is maximized. I did my utmost to design and propose a hardware device that would help you become more aware of your own health and enable you to help yourself as much as possible. Thank you so much for watching my video up to this point.